Hello, my name is Chris and I'm a U-Haul hitch professional. If you're planning on towing a trailer with your Toyota Corolla, you're going to need trailer wiring. It is required by the law. Now let's take a look at how we complete this install. You will need the following tools or supplies to complete this installation. Begin with the trunk open so you can remove the floor coverings. We're now going to remove the rear scuff panel. There are 2 trim clips, one on either side, that we need to remove, using a flathead screwdriver and a trim panel tool. You can now pull up on the scuff panel using the trim panel tool for leverage on the clips underneath. Now release the driver's side trim by removing 3 more trim clips. Number 3 is located here behind the trunk arm. There is a 4th trim clip here in the floorboard that you will also need to remove. We can now remove the trim a little bit from the vehicle body, gain access to where we're going to work, but let's also repeat these steps on the passenger side. You will only have 2 trim clips you need to remove, giving us access to where we plug in our green adapter. We're now ready to install the wire harness. We're gonna start here on the passenger side with the green adapter so we can run the slack backwards and zip tie it along the way. Depress the tab on the back of the adapter, perhaps using a small screwdriver to assist. Plug in the harness's mating adapters. Now follow this electrical line and zip tie it back to the driver's side where we will install the rest of the converter box. We're now ready to begin connecting the driver's side connections. Let's begin with peeling our ground wire away from the adapter because the adapter plugs in one spot and we have a great ground spot in another. We're going to use this grounding point right here for the white wire. Use a 10mm socket to remove the fastener. Pass the fastener through the ring terminal and re-secure it. The driver's side taillight adapter will be located farther back behind the trim. Again, if you need to, use the screwdriver to assist with the tab. You can now install the driver's side of the harness. We're now ready to install the power wire, so let's go ahead and jump up to the engine compartment. I will be installing the U-Haul exclusive Power Wire 1. It is OEM grade with built-in protections, so for that reason, I work from the engine compartment backwards. Install the cover of the fuse holder to protect the hot lead when we install it. We're going to get power from our battery here. You can now use your 12mm socket to remove one of the fasteners. Place the ring terminal of the fuse holder over the post and re-secure the fastener. We can now make a small trim to the cover to allow it to close over the fuse holder. This side has a locking clip. Be sure to cut this side and give yourself just enough room for the wire. We're now going to pass a fishing pole down the firewall in order to retrieve the power wire and bring it back up. Find your brake master cylinder and follow the hard metal brake lines down and backwards. Now tape the wire to the fishing pole in order to pull it back up to the engine compartment. You can now pass the power wire under this electrical connection. We'll use it as a zip tie point. Connect it to the fuse holder and mount it in place. You can now continue to route the power wire. Pull all the slack rearward. Follow the hard metal brake lines using zip ties along the way. Continue following the hard metal brake lines around the gas tank until we get behind the driver's side rear tire. Be sure to pass the wire over any existing lines or hoses. As well, we will want to go over the rear cross member. The hard metal brake line can be seen between the gas tank and the cross member. You should be able to get in one more zip tie at this location. Once at the rear of the vehicle, you can locate a plastic grommet right here that we will use to get the power wire into the vehicle. This grommet has a foam filter, which we can slide out of the way in order to pass the power wire through. The power wire is a little thicker than the hole in the plastic, so you may have to shove it through. Now pass the power wire into the vehicle and replace the grommet. Be sure to make it as snug as possible, and we will zip tie it from the inside. Let us now use this existing electrical harness and 2 zip ties to secure this wire. You can now trim off any excess power wire and connect it with a butt connector. I will be using a heat shrink butt connector, which is not provided with this kit. Melt the heat shrink on the butt connector using a heat source. Use the provided double-sided tape to secure the converter box behind the trim. Be sure to pass the 4-flat connector to the center of the vehicle so we can return the driver's side trim. And replace all the previously removed fasteners. Replace the vehicle's scuff panel, pressing in the 2 clips on the extreme edges, and reinstalling the 2 trim fasteners. For those of you who will keep the wiring in the trunk as we have, do know that you can stretch it out to your trailer or accessories, and that the weather stripping will keep it safe as long as you avoid the center clip where the trunk locks. Now let's install our dust cover and use it to tie up all the 4-flat wiring. Place the retention strap over the connector, coil them up, and use the cover as a tie. And you can now store them for future use. Replace your floor covering, and finally, install a 10-amp fuse into the fuse holder. That concludes trailer wiring for your Toyota Corolla. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to practice safe trailering, and we can't wait to see you out there. If you have any questions about the products seen in this video, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with your local U-Haul hitch professional, please visit us online at uhaulhitches.com. You can even download the U-Haul app using the link in the description for even more ways to manage your hitch and towing needs.